You've stopped into another episode of Dad Crossing where myself, Nick, and my co-host Sean will have real, honest chats about the highs and lows of dad life. We'll laugh together at the craziness of parenting and the silliness of our kiddos, and we'll support each other through the challenges and tough decisions of fatherhood. Whether you're a seasoned granddad or a dad-to-be, we promise laughs, relatable, and sometimes raw talk, and expert help to tackle the tough issues. Not from Sean and me, but from the amazing guests we'll have on the show. So let's be dads crossing through life together.
PEGI 12.
Welcome to Dad Crossing's Everyday Life. That's right. If we were rated, we believe we would be PEGI 12 over there in the UK. We're going to be talking about, wait for it, E-ratings, video game ratings, what we let our kids play, how we make those decisions, and how we enforce them, and if we enforce them. So, Sean, without further ado, I don't know where we start from here. I'm just kidding. Where do you what do you let Logan watch? Or play, better yet.
Yeah, I was going to say watch. I'd go as far as like the most recent Ghostbusters. I kind of like his limit. And especially Frozen Empire, I think it was. That actually scared him. So I'd say that's a good, that is like about his limit at the moment. But as to what I let him play, well, I actually did the thing of using that fantastic AI system that we always talk about, and I asked it for just a summarization very quickly of the games that I know he plays on his own, and then the ones that like I'll be sat with him as he plays.
Okay.
Or we play together. And it's Skate of all things is kind of like the questionable option for him to play because that's rated at a PEGI 16, and that's down to the fact that there is some use of language in there. There's realistic injury and risk themes in terms of like falling off and hurting yourself. There's no hall of meat like Skate used to have. They used to have this like slow motion section, like when you crashed, it would show like which bones were broken. Then it'd give you an X-ray of a human skeleton, and it'd like show you which ones you'd injured and stuff. They haven't brought that into the new Skate, but yeah, you can throw these guys from tops of buildings and they ragdoll to the floor and stuff. So there's that element of it. And then it says here, edgier culture and tone. So while the gameplay is chilled, but the soundtrack does have some language in it and stuff like that. So, but we've always had this thing with the kids that we don't mind them listening to stuff or having like language elements in there because we trust that they won't use that inappropriately. So, well, I mean, as soon as I find out that he is using it inappropriately, then that kind of level of you can't play that anymore because you can't be trusted to not copy and stuff that comes in straight away. So, but then the rest of them are absolutely fine. Fortnite's a PEGI 12, but I'm okay with that. But it's just the social aspect of it that we don't allow him to do. So chat's like is not allowed to use it. So if we're playing and we're in separate rooms, we tend to use FaceTime to talk. So we'll FaceTime from between his iPad and my phone to chat. So he can't have access to in-game chat and stuff like that because that's probably where it's a bit questionable. But other than that, it's relatively cartoon themed and stuff, and he's really big into the Harry Potter side of stuff. He was playing the Lego Fortnite for a little bit this evening. So, yeah. Other than that, it's Lego games are PEGI 7. He's 8, so I've got no question for that. They're pretty mild. Same with Minecraft. So.
Sure. I guess we should probably start back to where, like, well, we're not talking the same language, right? I mean,
this is true.
We have the ESRB over here, which has ratings from EC, E10 plus, teen, mature, and AO, adults only, games, and then yours are what? What are your PEGI?
We have PEGI 7, 3, 7, 12, and 16, but then we have an 18, but then we've got the categories in terms of, let me find it out. Where are they? There you go. We have violence, bad language, sex, drugs, fear, gambling, and online play. So, like, it'll be PEGI. It could have a PEGI 12, but then it has the caveat of content description of online play. So,
Okay, all right, cool. And we do. I don't know, if we have specific ones, but we do have like content descriptions too that are given out for each for each thing. Whether it's sexual, is there violence, is there sexual innuendos, is there drinking, all those drugs, all that fun stuff. And one thing I thought was interesting is we were all that fun stuff.
yeah, all the good stuff the kids aren't allowed to
um,
do.
One thing I thought was interesting when we were kind of like just going through this research and some stuff is a big difference between PEGI and ESRB is yours has like a legality to it. PEGI does, where
Yeah.
ESRB really does not. It's a suggestion more than anything, and there are some retail policies built in and around that where, like if my 9-year-old daughter walks into a store and tries to buy GTA 5, likely that's not going to fly in many places. But there's not a legal consequence for if somebody sells it, like if somebody tries to sell her alcohol or say something like that. So, but what
Yeah.
about yours?
So ours is that exactly. It's like you can't over here. You can't walk into a supermarket and buy. I mean, you can't even buy a paracetamol if you're under the age of 16. It's classed as illegal to sell a paracetamol as a pain relief to
Mm-hmm.
anybody under the age of 16. But yeah, like Logan couldn't like go with his birthday money and go and buy, like you say, Grand Theft Auto and be like, I'd like to buy this, please. And they'll be like, clearly out old enough. But like Emily that would go, they would very much ask her for ID. And if when she provides that age to show her age and stuff like that, they'll be like, oh, we can't sell you this because you're not old enough to buy it.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah, I find that interesting. I did. And I also so we're both industry run organizations. So like yours is not a government industry, because at first I thought it was. We're both industry run organizations. The only difference is your industry run organization sets stuff up in a way that if a government wants to, because PEGI stands for what is it? What is it?
Pan European game information.
There it is. I couldn't remember the P. I couldn't remember to P. Um, story of my life. Um, so they make it so that governments can build laws around the PEGI system, which I think is interesting and cool. That said, with a little backdrop of where we come from and where it comes from, um, then we can kind of get into more personal deal with the kiddos and all that jazz and how we do that. And I think this will be interesting, Sean, because I think we're not like miles apart, but we are a little ways apart. Like
Yeah,
for
because
instance, Noah doesn't play like base Fortnite yet,
no, he doesn't
and
do the
so
barrel, but you're happy for him to play the Lego.
yeah,
So
yeah. So yeah, I don't think either of us are miles apart. In our house, there's ESRB, and then there's mom rating, and that's really what matters more than anything.
yeah,
Now, I'm not no,
and like but
mom and I aren't
mum
far
rating
enough
doesn't have an
apart, but
age rating.
yeah,
So mum
yeah,
mum rating doesn't have an age rating.
yeah,
It just has a
yeah.
yes or no.
That's right. Yeah, yeah.
Thumbs up, thumbs down.
That's right. That's exactly right. I said this in the last Everyday podcast. I meant to show her Metroid Prime trailer. So if there's anything like that's on the fence where I'm like, I don't know how she's gonna feel about this, then it has to be run through the mom board, and she gets to decide one way or another. And I've always told her that because I really do have the belief of like he'll get to play these games at some point in his life, so it's not going to kill him if it's not now. So I will always back her in whatever her decision is. Um, And so I know that she's probably more conservative on that front than I am. And so I've always told her that, like if I ever think there's an issue, or if I'm ever like unsure of what she would think, then I'll run the game her way and then we can make that decision. And I've always stuck to that. It makes the most sense to me. Like it's no big deal to me. He'll get to play all
Yeah.
these games at some point for sure. So,
Yeah, I wouldn't let him play Call of Duty for that element because it's far too realistic. But the fact that when you I say in Call of Duty when you kill someone, they say like they count it as a kill streak.
yeah.
In Fortnite, it just says you've eliminated.
Mhm.
So I don't that's one of the things. And I say this to him all the time because he says, "Oh yeah, I killed that character." As I know you eliminated that character.
Yeah.
It's that's what it's called. If you can't grasp that, we will stop playing, and
Mhm.
you will not be allowed to play Fortnite. But it's just the cartoon aspect of it. He likes the emotes
Yeah.
because they're all funny dancers. He likes the different character skins he can get. So he's got like at the moment he's currently rocking a Harry Potter Gryffindor skin in a pair of Gary the Snail slippers.
I love it.
So and that's what, and that if it wasn't for the fact that he likes that more than anything else, then he probably wouldn't be playing it. But it's not massively realistic.
Mhm.
There is no blood, there's no gore, there's no the use of bad language and stuff like that in it. So even in the music side of things with Festival Main Stage, they don't use bad language in those. So
Mhm. Yeah, and I think you're so like it's funny you say that Noah does play Splatoon. That's one of the games he absolutely loves. And so he's always like, I killed that guy. And I'll do the same thing like, no, you splatted that guy. You didn't there nobody
yeah,
didn't kill him, you splatted him. He coming back. And so I think that's funny. I do the same thing with and I think you're definitely onto something, right? Like the video game can be fine. We let him play Among Us, which is kind of funny because there's probably more murderous scenes in Among Us than
I was gonna
than
say.
anything he plays otherwise with like guns and tongue with the gun to the forehead and the tongue swords and all those things, right? But listen, we were desperate and it was COVID, okay? So just
Yeah, there's only so much Animal Crossing a
that's
kid can
right.
play before it becomes
Yeah.
difficult.
Yeah. But overall, I mean, beyond those like cutscenes, the real thing you got to watch out for in all those games is the chat, right? Like, is the like making sure that if chat is on, they're chatting with friends and friends alone, and if they're in the real world, that chat is gone, and you're just using the little D-pad symbols or whatever to
Yeah,
communicate.
yeah, that's my biggest worry. And there's been a couple of things, and I need to look into this because I have his chat disabled, but for some strange reason, when he's playing some of the creator-led games, because that's one of the things that is difficult um, with Fortnite is the the creator games where people have been able to create their own game and upload it, and Epic can say yes or no if they have the final say in terms of if it gets published
Hmm.
onto the I'm going to call it a dashboard. There's been a couple of them when he's playing that I can hear people chatting. He can't chat back to them, but he can hear them, and it's coming through the game speaker rather than like through a chat speaker as such.
Hmm.
So I need to look at that. But it's only happened on one or two games, and I've kind of told him to come off that one. So
Sure. Yeah, and it's so this whole gig is really interesting too, I think, from the standpoint of like I appreciate all these companies, Nintendo, PlayStation, Xbox, Apple with the iPhone, they all have a way to protect your kids, and I think it's great. But man, let me tell you, it is a lot. It is a lot as a parent to like have to keep these things locked down, but then you also are like you're trying to let them do their thing where appropriate, and so then I have to like figure out how to unlock it. We literally just yesterday and okay. So at in New Year's, we were playing online, and I told him bring your phone. It doesn't connect. It's not cell. It's only Wi-Fi. I said bring your phone, and you can probably use it to play some of these Netflix games we're doing, and we don't have to try to scramble to find an extra device. So he did, and then but then he's trying to get into it, right? And it's like, Dad, I can't play. I'm like, why not? Well, because it's locked down. So then I'm trying to unlock it, find the thing, and do the stuff. And everybody's like, are we gonna play? And I'm like, listen, just you people do not understand how hard this is. It's just like finding the finding that like sweet spot of letting them have their freedom, but also making sure that they don't even accidentally find their way into something that they shouldn't
Yeah.
is
I think
is
as
difficult.
he gets a little bit older and then he's playing online with some of his friends as they catch up, because some of his friends aren't allowed to play Fortnite, and I know they would like to. I might just use Discord as a function and be like,
Hmm.
I'll set up, because he's likely to play online with Joe's little boy, and like I know Joe understands Discord. So if I set them up
Hmm.
as a private server,
Yeah.
made them a Discord account just for that server only, and then they could chat through that. I know nobody else can get into it. Me and Joe can go in to monitor it.
Hmm.
So
Yeah, no,
yeah,
that I mean that makes a lot of sense. I think speaking of Nintendo, I think that game chat feature was certainly something that they wanted to take off and be this thing, but I don't at this point think that it has done quite that thing. Um
I've used it once.
yeah. Yeah, I've used it twice, but only to like test it with different people is all I've done. So it
Yeah,
really wasn't to use it. I was just like, "Oh yeah, you have it too. Okay, yeah, I'm going to get on and see how this looks." And then I get off. That's it. So, it's not bad.
yeah.
It just I don't know, it's just
It,
not my go-to.
yeah, it's not, and again, it's not my go-to, but I can imagine as they probably bring out more multiplayer games and
Mhm.
different styles of multiplayer games. Like if Mario Pie at the moment, you have to buy like expansion pack to be able to play online together and stuff like that in a better way using game chat. The next Mario Pie, I think that's going to have it hard wired straight in. So
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah. That would make a lot of sense. So, when you make a decision about games, how much do you pay attention to your PEGI rating?
um, a lot. So I would never let him play Grand Theft Auto. I think Jaya was 15 when she got playing Grand Theft Auto, and that was mainly because I knew she knows it's all
Mm,
fairy tale. It's a game, so you know there's no element of repeatability. You know she had a very wise head on her, so she knows not to be driving around, you know, hiring
mhm,
people and so on and so forth. Um, where Emily hasn't really showed an interest in it. She hasn't asked, but if she was to ask, I would be on the fence and being like, yeah, there's more. There's other games you can be playing other than Grand Theft Auto, so to speak. Um, and it's the same with Logan. Just because he's an impressionable 8 year old at the moment,
mhm,
so like he's dying to watch Squid Game. I have no idea why because I've watched it and I thought it was an interesting show, but as an 8 year old, I don't understand why he's so drawn into it. I don't know if it's just because of the bright colors and it's the link to childhood like games, but
mhm.
I keep saying to him that they're only snippets of it. Everything else is like a bit dark
Yeah.
and violent.
Just a touch
So
bit
he doesn't,
dark.
yeah, so he doesn't need to be watching it. So yeah, it's that element of if he was to play Call of Duty, it's too realistic. Where, and I'll keep referencing these two games because they both have the same gameplay style, stuff like that. But where Fortnite's got the cartoon aspect of it, he's more interested in the unlocking the skins and the different emotes than he is like the realistic side of it and that kind of thing. He's happy to not always play the battle royale and
Hmm.
do the Lego Fortnite or do the silly platform parkour things that like people create and upload to Epic than he is to actually play the game. But he just likes the skins and the emotes because he uses them. So I mean, he's got the 6-7 emote at the moment, which he spams constantly. But it's yeah, it's that. So I do pay attention to him closely, and even with games where I'm for like what I'm playing, I won't play certain games in front of him. So
Sure, sure. That's the
so
hardest
yeah.
part, is it not? I mean, when I get a thumbs down from mom rating, it's like, okay, well now I got to try to figure out if I can stay awake long enough to actually play this game and beat it. I mean, and then as they get older, they're staying up later, so it's like all of a sudden I'm like, oh man, I don't know if I've got it in me.
Yeah, this is where
Yeah.
the Switch is great because like Cult of the Lamb, as much as it's got that cartoon aspect of it, the gameplay and the the concept of the game of sacrificing people
Yeah.
and like designing
Yeah.
isn't ideal for kids. I have that on the Switch, so I can,
Mhm.
if I want to play it, I can take it. I can go and sit in my room while Lindsay's reading or watching a show, and I can play a game that's a bit more adult in terms of theme
Mhm.
and not be in front of the kids. So,
Most important question of this podcast, Sean. Am I in your cult?
um, yes, I think you are.
Okay.
I think
Okay. You paused. I'm
everybody
nervous,
is.
but okay. I appreciate that. Good.
Well, I couldn't remember if you played. There's a few that have passed away for other
If I
reasons.
pass away, Sean, you spend the points to resurrect me. That's what I did for you. Okay? Spend the points and resurrect. I mean, come on.
Yeah, yeah, of course. But
You're just
I think
making
I've
Nick
only
too, aren't
lost.
you? You're like, you know what? I ain't spending that points. I'm just gonna make another Nick. Screw that.
I can't just make another Nick. There's only one. That can be only one.
Okay. Well, that's fine.
Yeah,
I
I haven't
won't. I
played it.
won't
The
hold
the
it
reason I
against
had
you.
paused is I haven't played it for a long time,
That's
so I've
fair.
had other things to play.
Uh
So
huh. I made the whole dad crew, and then I kept spending points to keep him alive. It was really like it became a bit ridiculous, but I was doing it. I'd resurrect them over and over, like the core four, like Jesse, Marty, just they were like 100 plus years old, and they kept dying on me, and I kept resurrecting them. It was fun ish. So, anyways, moving on. Um, so I too follow, like I look at the ratings. But really for me, I guess probably because I'm like in that sphere so much, I pretty much already have a vibe of like, yeah, no, I'll be fine with this game, or nah, not so much on this one, you know. And so it's just like when it falls kind of right on the fence, and right now Noah's kind of right at that age where I think about to plunk over to like teen games, but hasn't maybe yet. So that's kind of why like Prime 4 is like right there, and I'm like, I think we could just probably do that and it'd be fine, but also it's like right on the edge. Um, so that's really how I look at it, and Noah's so far, like you said, has been really really great about understanding what's real, what's not real, what you do in the real world, and what you can't do in video games, and what you can do in video games you can't do in the real world all the time, and stuff like that. So, and I
yeah,
think um that's a big part of it, right? Like uh making sure that you're watching them after they play this game.
yeah,
How is their attitude afterwards, right?
yeah, and that's where things like we took Roblox away from him because his attitude after he'd been playing Roblox was just disgusting. It's there's elements in that game that I don't agree with, and I think we've locked it down for as best as we possibly can. But he plays half an hour of Roblox, and after that, he's just a little pain in the butt.
Mhm.
He's really like mad. His attitude's disgusting. I don't get that when he's been playing Fortnite with me, or if he's been playing Lego Pie, or he's been playing Wobbly Life. I don't get that. And so it's not the screen time that he's had, it's the content at which he's been playing. And it's just, yeah. So keeping them away from that. But like you say, it's how it psychologically affected them.
Hmm.
Had a cousin when growing up that, was playing at about Logan's age, was playing things like Mortal Kombat and watching wrestling and stuff like that, and he couldn't. It was carrying across the school, so he was becoming violent and having violent outbursts at school, and that I think was directly affected to what the games he was playing and stuff like that, and not being
Hmm.
able to differentiate that this is a game you can't carry on into think. And young people are like young minds like Logan's age and Noah's age are massively impressionable. It's where they're learning what they can and can't do, and the personalities coming through. So
Hmm.
it's yeah, it's one of those where it's very difficult to make the right decision and stick to it, especially if
Yeah.
your kid's like, oh well, all my friends are playing this game.
Hmm.
It's
Yeah. I mean, we had that early on with Noah and Splatoon. We had no issue with him playing Splatoon. The issue was it quickly turned from being a fun game to a game that he felt like he should be better at. And so when he wasn't what he wanted to be, he got all frustrated and was all sassy and just frustrated, angry basically after he would play it. And so we basically got to be like, listen, man, if if you can't have fun playing this game, then just don't play it. Like it's not worth the time. Like you don't have to be a master at this game. Just lose and have fun, or just move on. Hey, I moved on because I was like, you know what? This ain't fun anymore. I'm just getting splatted every 5 seconds. So, and that's fine. Like whatever you got to do, but make sure that when you're done playing, you're like, wow, that was a really good experience. Not like stupid games, And I'm like, all right. And then you start taking it
yeah,
out on the rest of the family because you're mad. And so,
and that's what and that's something I always am sure to do, especially if we're playing Fortnite together. Me and Logan is if he starts to get if we've had like a couple of good games, and we do this sometimes, we'll have 6 games where we've done back to back victory royales, and we'll do that. And then all of a sudden, like I don't know if it's because we've been doing well that they start pitching us against harder um, competitors and stuff like that. But then
hmm.
we'll start to have games where we're getting nowhere near the top 15, top 20. So he starts getting frustrated because he's like, why has he done that? He's got me with an uncommon and I had an epic, and it's like at that point, I'll say to him, like, okay, let's just return to lobby. We've not been back to the lobby for a while. We'll see what we've unlocked, and then that dopamine of he's just unlocked maybe a skin or a new glider or something hits,
Hmm.
and he kind of brings him down because he's realized then that we've done well, we've earned some decent stuff, and that tends to be where I'm like, no, that's it now. We've had eight rounds. We're done. We've been at this for like an hour and a half. It's time that we go and do something different. So,
Yeah. 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 So when is it that at what age would you let one of your kiddos, choose what video game they get if they buy it with their own money?
um, we've let Logan do that now, but we've kind of he knows what. So, like, he bought Among Us himself,
Hmm.
but he'd been playing it on the iPad, and he'd already been playing it on the Xbox. He wanted it on the Switch, so we were okay with that. So we kind of gave him the nod as to say, yeah, that's fine. But we would just police it. We'd be like, you can't get that game because it's too old for you.
Okay, let me change it
And
again. Would you ever change your mind because he could buy the game himself? Like if he saved up enough money and he was like, "Dad, I want to buy Call of Duty." Don't worry, you know how to buy it. Would that change your mind at all?
no,
Yeah.
it's too old for you. No, you have to wait. Like, I've got a feeling that Activision is going to keep Call of Duty around for the rest of its foreseeable future. So by the time he gets to play it, he'll probably on like Black Ops 32. But No, it wouldn't change my mind.
Yeah, no.
It's
I
got
just
that's got
I
no
agree.
bearing on it. My parents were exactly the same. So,
Mhm. Yeah. No, I don't, I don't disagree at all. I was just interested if that was any different.
and that kid can't save up enough money to buy his own game. So,
Oh, see,
it
really?
burns a hole in his pocket.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's funny the difference. Noah's so when we did the yes day with Noah, the first question he asked was, "If we don't do anything that day, do I just get $150?" It's like, "No. No, you don't." Like he was fully prepared to be like, "Dad, we don't need to do anything. We can just have a normal day at home and then you can write me a check for 150 bucks. How about that?" And I'm like, "No. This is not how this is going to work."
I like it. No, I mean, this blends into a previous one, but we did the whole Go Henry thing where we can set him tasks to earn money.
Yeah.
He's stopped doing those tasks because he's not bothered about earning the like £6 here and there and slowly save up. But I think he got £50 over Christmas from like people that had given him additional stuff as well as maybe a present or we had a couple of family members like, oh, we weren't too sure what to get him, and so we just put money in the card. It lasted till the 27th of December. So, and he spent all his money and then had to borrow £4 because we went to the shop that must not be named in York, which is like a Harry Potter store,
Oh,
and
I see.
bought some bits and pieces. Um,
Nice.
so yeah, it doesn't last long. Like where Emily, I think she's got £40 of hers left over.
Mhm.
Um,
Oops.
Jay has got a considerable amount left over, but she's using that to live. So,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know,
It becomes a bit different when like all of a sudden, oh, I'm buying food now. Okay. Money
yeah.
is important. For Logan, he's like, dude,
He-
you feed me, you clothe me, you do all the stuff, so I'm
yeah,
fine. It's all good. Yeah.
yeah.
That's fun times. Um yeah, I guess one of the other questions I had was like if you're not along with, not if not, because you said that you're using PEGI and I use ESRB kind of too, but if you're looking for more information, like how do you do trailers? Like how do you get that information to like see if it's
Um,
okay for Logan?
usually, a game that I know he's going to want to play is something that I want to play. So,
Yeah.
Switch related, Mario. What was the recent side scrolling Mario that came out? Mario Wonder.
Hmm.
Um, I would play it first, so I'd get it, and I'd tell him that I was going to get it, and then once I play it first, make sure it was okay, and then he can go ahead and play it. Usually, Nintendo AAA or Nintendo's own IP games are absolutely fine. So Zelda's, Donkey Kong, Mario, all that kind of stuff is usually fine. So I wouldn't even think about it. But thing like Roblox, I downloaded it. I went through everything. I kind of played a few different games and looked around at a few different things and very quickly realized that there was a lot of locking down to do for the content that was in there, and I wasn't very happy with it at first. So I kind of kiboshed it and said to Lindsay that no, can't have it. It's even with it locked down, there's still too many holes. There's too many like nightmare stories that I've seen online because that's the ones I'll go into like parent forums or I'll go into Reddit forums and read through like either horror stories or like issues that people have
Hmm.
had with games. So I will do some homework, but he's never really come to me and been like, I really want this game, Dad. Can I have this? Um, and I've had to kind of go, well, it's not one that I'd play, so I best do some research on it.
Yeah, you just not
And
add that
Roblox has
scenario.
been the other
Yeah.
one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, Noah has not showed any interest in Roblox. I don't know if that's because he figures that we would just say no, or if it's because it's just not a game on his radar that any of his friends are playing. I'm not sure.
yeah.
Um, yeah, but but we use every once in a while I will use, and not, to be honest, not really for games because I hear you. It's just not an issue that I run into quite often. Usually a game that he brings me, I'm like, yeah, Sure. I already, like I said, I already know about it because that's kind of the sphere I like to. That's my hobby. That's my thing. So okay. But for movies and TV, especially like Netflix streamers, that kind of thing, because they're adding crud all the time. I don't know if it's over there, but Common Sense Media over here is pretty good. I go on there and check out Netflix kids movies sometimes if I'm unsure. If it's like a teen rating, because teen can be like not that big of a deal or maybe a big deal. So um, that's on the
Again, he's
movie side of stuff.
again he's not really interested in movies as such. Other than like things like SpongeBob, Sonic,
Mm-hmm.
Mario. So, well,
Mm-hmm.
I'm assuming he just hasn't got to that age yet where he's interested different, like bothered about different movies as such. So,
Sure. Yeah, I mean, Noah doesn't much care about movies, but it's those Netflix like teen cartoons when he's just like
oh yeah,
scrolling through the thing and he's like, "Can I watch this?" That's what he does. He's like, when we
Can I
give him
watch
some time,
Badmouth?
yeah,
No,
can I watch this?
a
I mean,
big
he's got a
mouth
kids
season.
account, so he can't really see like anything too awful, but he's like scrolling through and he's like, "Can I watch this? Can I watch this?" I'm like, "I don't know. Leave me alone." Oh, that is. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Again, his The Simpsons. That's his current go-to now on Disney.
nice.
So,
All right. Do you have anything else on this that we're missing that you want to hit on?
um, no, has there been games or a game you've played, uh, and gone, I think this should be okay for now, or it looks fine, and then gone, oh, hang on a second, no.
Well, now I think it'd be fine. In fact, I'd actually like to play it with him. But at that time, he was when it came out. I think he was like 8 or something. I don't know if it was that long ago. Maybe yeah, it was probably 8. And we were initially playing It Takes Two, and I was like, man, I think we should play this game. And then as we got further into it, into some parts like the teddy bear scene, I was like, no, no, not yet, not yet. Now, 3 years later,
I
actually, now I would like to play It Takes Two with Noah. To be honest, I think that'd be a
think
fun
that'd be a
experience.
hilarious thing to do with
Yeah,
Noah.
yeah. So, but that was one that I initially was like, oh, we're gonna
What about
play this.
Grounded?
Oh, Noah watches Grounded. Yep, he watches and
Okay.
plays every once in a while. But no, no, Noah's gonna be one of the teens that I like. Sometimes I'm like, well, I don't know, why don't you just play video games instead of watching them? Noah's gonna be one of those kids. He's a lot of times I'll be like, here, you want to play? He's like, no, I don't want to play. I'd rather watch you, Dad. Like, and there are games he likes to play, but like those kind of fighters or like Zelda, like Tears of the Kingdom, he'll play every once in a while, but a lot of times he'll be like, I'd rather just watch you play, Dad. And I'm like, okay. And so that's a lot of
Yeah.
times what we do. But yeah, Grounded. Oh, that's true. What is Grounded's rating?
12
Yeah, which
over
means
here.
T for us. So that's the first teen game because I kept trying to find games that were teen. He's E10 for pretty much everything that he's playing. That's the first thing, I guess, if it pops up teen for us as well that he has played or watched. But it's like you're just killing bugs. Now, sure, the law bugs kill me too, but yeah, that's teen. Blood, fantasy, violence. Yep. Yeah. So yeah, I do let him watch Grounded 2 or play or watch whatever. Sometimes, especially he loves to do like the things when he knows he's not gonna fight anything like super big. When it's just like I need mushrooms to finish a project or some random little thing, and he'll go out and find them for me. But yeah, that thanks for reminding me of that. That was the first teen game I'd ever let him watch.
Fair. But no, that's it. I think, like I say, I think we're both on the same wavelength when it comes to how
Yeah.
we kind of parent around video games and age ratings and sticking to them. Um, Lindsay doesn't really get involved much because it's not her shtick, and she knows that I've got a relatively good sense of right or wrong for the video game style.
Hmm.
So,
Yeah.
but no, that's it. It was Fantastic. Uh, what's the word I'm looking for here, Nick? Topic
Thanks for coming.
idea.
Oh, okay. Thanks for watching, listening. I don't know.
No, no, it was a really good.
Topic for yeah,
Yeah, conversation topic.
dad topic.
Yeah, that came from BBS Cerveza.
Yeah, it's great. It's
That's
beer
really
three ways.
freeway beer.
Hmm.
And this is why we're a Peggy 12. Um, but yeah, it was a good topic. The other ones that he'd suggested, I think we have already spoken about in previous ones. And um, Frosticles came out with what to do if the police turn up at your door, which I think we're hopefully a long way away from that, but you never know.
Well, I mean, listen, I was event, hopefully I am, but I mean, you got a teen, so you got a person out of the house. So yeah. I
Well,
mean,
that then falls into the one that Tim came up with.
mhm.
Are you ready for when they turn into adults?
I think
So
we should
I was like,
merge those two together and talk about that maybe next week or something like that.
Yeah, sounds like a plan.
I like it.
But anyway, thanks very much for listening. Like we said at the end of the last episode, we've now got a little spot in the Nintendo Dance Discord channel, which is fantastic. It was very nice for Tim to reach out and offer that to us. So if you do ever have a dad topic, a parenting quandary, or just wanting our opinion on something that's happened, then feel free to shoot it in there, and we'll always try and fit it into our dad topics. Saves me and Nick having to scratch our heads before we start recording because we feel like we've done that pretty well for the last 58 weeks. So
Mm.
yeah.
Yeah.
But until then, enjoy the rest of your week, and we'll see you again next Monday.
See you later, guys.
Thanks for tuning in to Dad Crossing. We're here to remind you that this podcast is made by dads for dads. It's a place where all of us can come together, share a laugh, and tackle the wild ride that is fatherhood. If you want to keep the conversation going or just need a safe space to chat or ask for help, you are always welcome to reach out. You can find me, Sean, at Sean_Abbott, and you can find my good friend Nick at Nick10Do. And of course, give our social media platforms a good look over because that is where we share all the updates, all the laughs, and all the things dad life. That is, everything is at Dad Crossing. For anything more, feel free to drop us a message at team@dadcrossing.com. And until next time, stay strong, stay connected, and remember, you're never alone on this journey. We'll see you in the next episode of Dad Crossing.